Well, the NL East certainly is going to be fun to watch this year. Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to Phillies Sensitive Media, and today we're joined by George Lehner. He came on here in October of 2021 during the National League Division Series when the Atlanta Braves were facing the Milwaukee Brewers. I remember during that video you said that you weren't really confident in their chances.
I said they wouldn't get out of the first round.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Now, guys, before getting into this video, please subscribe if you have not yet. Please turn on the notification bell. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video, and let's get into this. This video is also brought to you by All Things Phillies. All Things Phillies provides a daily video of highlights from the game. So please go subscribe to his channel. Link in the description section. So, George, how do you see your Atlanta Braves doing this year after losing Freddie Freeman? Of course, they do, replace him with Matt Olson.
Well, first of all, I want to apologize for my voice. I've been screaming and hollering at the Braves, just like you have with the Phillies. My voice is shot. The Braves are pretty much the same kind of a team they were last year at this stage.
Right.
And last year they had Acuna, and this year they're not going to have Acuna for another week. So I don't think anybody is pushing the panic button yet. Until they see how they play with Acuna. There are a lot of new faces with the Braves this year. Obviously, the departure of Freddie Freeman was horrible. Didn't have to happen, in my opinion. But for whatever reason, somebody got a burr and decided to draw a line in the sand. Mm-hmm. And that's just the way it goes. I mean, I think it's horrible. I just think it's horrible. And
it was a big shock, I think.
Well, it was a shock, and I think it was a big shock to Freddie Freeman.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think he ever thought that he'd be playing anywhere other than Atlanta.
No, I think he wanted to stay. 100%.
Absolutely, he did. No question.
Yeah, they just didn't want to pay him what he wanted.
And there's two sides to this thing. They didn't want to pay him what he wanted. How much money do you need?
Right. Exactly.
If
you really wanted to stay.
Yeah. If you really wanted to stay. I mean, come on.
Exactly.
And he's not making that much money, that much more money with the Dodgers.
Right.
It's just the principle of the thing.
You got I definitely agree with you on that. So as I talked about before, back in October when I had you on, that was in the Division Series. And what did you make of that Braves run and winning the World Series? And I think there's a lot of questions within this one question. But just how surprised were you to see them win it all?
Oh, I was shocked.
To take take down Houston Astros.
I was absolutely shocked. I never thought they'd get past the Dodgers or anybody.
Yeah. And just to talk about, as we're just talking about Freddie Freeman. How do you see Matt Olson as a replacement? Of course, he's no Freddie Freeman, but how do you see him doing?
He's so different. He can be explosive. He's got great numbers. He's a fabulous ball player. Atlanta fans aren't booing him. Right. But, Freddie Freeman's out in L.A. hitting home run after home run after home run, and Olson's not hitting home run after home run after home run. That doesn't mean he won't, and that doesn't mean he's not a good player, because, I think he's a great player.
Yeah, great defender.
I think they knew what they were doing. Mm-hmm. Antonopoulos had his script ready to go. He knew who he wanted. He had it all carved out. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. It was mid-August last year, and the Braves still sucked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right.
It was September. They were lucky to get into the playoffs.
It all came down to that Phillies-Braves series.
And they caught fire.
Yeah.
The Braves caught fire at the right time, and that's what you have to do in sports, whether it's baseball, football, basketball, whatever.
Yeah.
It has to do with matchups, who's healthy, who's not, and if you catch fire at the right time, which the Braves did last fall, there's no guarantee they're going to do that again.
Right.
There's no guarantee they won't do it again. That's the fun of it.
It's baseball. It's sports. Yeah, absolutely. And what did you think? What do you think of Brian Snitker's leadership as a manager? To get that team last year, which was it's a good team, but to take them all the way to the World Series and win. Your thoughts on him as a manager and decision making that he's made since he took the helm in 2016?
You're not going to agree with every decision that every manager makes, certainly. Mm-hmm. But I love Brian Snitker. and I always have. I love the fact that he's a Braves guy through and through. Has been his whole life. Will continue to be. Will retire a member of the Braves, like Freddie Freeman wanted to do.
Right.
I really, as a former sports journalist, I would have loved to have covered Brian Snitker.
Right.
I think he's just got class. He's honest. He knows baseball. I love the guy.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And to kind of move away from specifically Atlanta Braves, with the New York Mets in this division as well, also with my Phillies, how do you see this NL East shaping out? Of course, the Mets currently leading the division, with 12 wins. But do you see them fizzling out like they did last year? Of course, it's hard to tell.
It is, but that's the thing. I mean, the Mets always start hot. Well, they don't always start hot, but
Usually.
Yeah, but they usually start off hot. And then August and September, where are they?
Nowhere. Yeah, they just collapsed. It's a dumpster fire.
There's teams like that in college football, which is the sport that I covered the most of in my life. And the Big Ten I covered.
Right.
And a team that comes to mind is Michigan State. Michigan State has always started out strong. They've always done well. And then all of a sudden, around the middle of October, or the first part of November, which is when you're supposed to be playing your very best, they go south. Yeah. And I mean, I don't know why, but there's teams like that. And the Mets have historically, over the last 10 years, maybe, have been able. They've been doing that.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I'm not too overly worked up about the Mets right now.
I agree.
You and I talked last fall about one of the big differences between our two clubs that we enjoy being the farm system.
Right. Oh, I agree.
And I looked at the Braves farm system the other day. They've got some great kids coming up through the ranks.
Yeah, they do.
Great kids. They've got this Harris center fielder. I mean, he's just hitting the bejesus out of the ball.
Yeah.
They want him on the field now at the major league level.
Yeah.
And of course, they've got some pitching that'll be okay. I still think the Braves need a lot of help with pitching, especially in the bullpen. And I think they need a starter. Every time a Braves pitcher is on the mound, I cringe. Yeah. I mean, you just don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I agree. That was part of the reason why they weren't winning at the beginning of last year.
Right.
It's because they just weren't healthy.
But from a farm system standpoint, that organization is put together so well. Cunha came up. Austin Riley came up. I mean, they and they, like I said, they've got
Freeman,
4 or 5. They've got 4 or 5 guys ready to come up now. And I mean, they're going to be in great shape.
Yeah,
they really are.
Future's bright for them.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see them in first place now.
Yeah. I predicted them to win a division.
I don't know what's going to happen when the Mets play them. They're going to play them in two games, I think, in another week or so. But I don't. It's just too early to worry about it. It's too early to worry about your team. It's too early to worry about the Braves.
It's patience.
I mean, let's wait and see what happens. Where are they at the All-Star break? Who's going to start dealing for whom? And let's see how they play the rest of July and into August.
I agree. And you brought up a good point about how our farm system just isn't where it needs to be. Of course, Bryson Stott, our top prospect who is now in the big leagues, hasn't seen some playing time in a little while now. I understand he was hitting the ball hard right before Joe Girardi kind of put him away for a little while, but so far not so good. Of course, it's so early in his major league career that it's hard to make a blanket statement like that. But a lot of first round picks like Adam Hazley, second round pick of 2017, Spencer Howard. Of course, now he's with Texas Rangers, and Adam Hazley during spring training was dealt to the Chicago White Sox. I understand he did have his problems off the field with getting death threats with him and his wife, and I understand that you have to take care of your personal issues, but this farm system has been historically over the past 10 years been very, very disappointing.
Going back to that farm system being disappointing, you have to invest in a quality kid. Mm-hmm. I mean, you've got to look at a kid's background. You've got to look at his psyche. You have to look.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You have to look at him off the field as well as on the field. You're putting so much money into these players. I mean, you can't afford to invest all this money and then, have them arrested repeatedly on assault charges or DWI charges or whatever.
Right.
I mean, That's horrible. I mean, you've got to find good quality people. Again, no matter the sport, pro football, college football, recruiting. I mean, it's the same with Major League Baseball.
Yeah, I agree 100%. This Phillies farm system, I understand that we now have new leadership. David Dombrowski coming in a year and a half ago. He's still kind of learning the rings a little bit of this organization.
Good, solid baseball guy, though. Yeah. Really good, solid baseball guy.
Yeah, I remember we talked about him a little bit before. Yeah. But I understand it is early, but what do you make of this Phillies team? I mean, with adding Castellanos and Schwarber, and how do you see them doing this year?
I don't know. I mean, to me, I don't know. I mean, they're a mystery. To me, it could go either way. I think they could. I don't know that they have what it takes to win the division, but I think they have what it takes.
Down to pitching.
I think they have what it takes to ruin it for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Just like the Miami Marlins.
Right.
I don't think Miami necessarily
we could both speak for that.
I think Philadelphia is one of those teams that is going to be there. Yeah. Now, what does that mean? Well, they're going to be in these. They're going to be in the games. They're going to be one of those teams that, at the very least, can mess it up for other teams.
Right. I agree 100%. Yeah, I mean, with adding Knebel, as the closer, and adding Brad Hand, also was, in a sense, another closer. I mean, the bullpen definitely looks a lot better. No way blame the bullpen on last night's loss. I mean, Aiden Hernandez, of course, was a disaster, missing all those, strike calls. But the offense definitely needs to step it up a little bit more, as we haven't really seen much offense. I mean, this whole Milwaukee Brewers series, I understand their pitching staff in general, one of the best, not just in the National League, but in all of baseball. But we didn't hit one home run against the Milwaukee Brewers this series. And this is a team that had Castellanos who hit 35 home runs last year. Kyle Schwarber hit 33 home runs last year. Bryce Harper hit 35 home runs last year. I mean, Rhys Hoskins, a guy that would have hit over 30 if he had been healthy. So this is a team that should be hitting home runs, and they're just not really hitting home runs. We definitely saw a lot of home runs in spring training, but, I mean, that's another example as to why spring training means absolutely nothing.
It's the same with the Braves. Yep. It's the same with the Braves. One night they'll score 16 runs. Next night, next 3 games, they'll be lucky to score 5.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
Again, with the Braves, they've got Ronald Acuna coming back in a week or so.
Yeah, and how much, I mean, we talked about this a little bit at the beginning, but how much do you think he's really going to, change his team? Not just from a on-the-field standpoint, too. How much do you think it's really going to change the mentality of the clubhouse?
Emotionally, yeah.
Emotionally.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the fan base, everybody, they're going to be so excited to have him back. Now, if he starts out going 0 for 30, then you're going to have some questions. But, we'll see what happens. That's the fun of it. That's the fun of it. I don't think he's going to start out going 0 for 30, but you never know.
Right. Yeah, exactly. We've seen that a lot where it takes a guy a while to adjust.
Sure.
It's going to be almost 10 months when he comes back.
Right.
Since he had that, horrible, devastating injury. I understand we talked a little bit about the finality of it, when he went down last year.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, of course they made the playoffs, which was a huge accomplishment when you lose a guy like that. But to go on to win a World Series after that happened, I mean, just like it definitely was a surreal moment, in the Braves' history.
That makes what the Braves accomplished last year even more amazing.
Right. I
mean, to lose him. And, I'm not a big fan of Antonopoulos, their GM, because he let Freeman get away. But I'm not necessarily a fan of Freeman for letting himself get away. Look at the moves that Antonopoulos made after the All-Star break and around the All-Star break to start getting those players in to make that stretch drive and, eventually win the World Series.
Yeah.
I mean, it was amazing.
I just want to thank you so much for taking the time.
My pleasure. Thank you. And it'll be interesting to see how both of our teams fare during the course of the season.
Absolutely. So, guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you haven't know yet. Please engage the bell. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video, check the social media. Link in the description section at Phillies Hot Stove, Instagram, TikTok, Instagram. Follow me on Twitter at PHotStoveMedia. Call or text 267-225-3292. Email me, PhilliesHotStoveMedia@gmail.com. So I was joined by George Lehner today. Thank you guys so much for watching. 6:45 tonight. Kyle Gibson takes down. Awesome.